Hey, Kels, can you turn the TV down?
I saw she was watching a lot of Squid Games. It's a great show.
Oh, my kids are all into it. They're just like, oh,
Such a great show.
just randomly they'll scream, I've played these games before. I'm like, what?
Oh, man. That's funny. Let me pull up
Welcome, everybody. We're going to let some people join in, and then we're going to be starting the podcast. We are going to be reviewing offensive free agents, non-quarterbacks. We did quarterbacks last week, so we're going to do some other ones. I think my cup has a leak. Oh, well.
Yeah, again, every Tuesday, guys, it's me and Josh, Raider AQ, the GOAT 209. We're also on YouTube now. We're doing a lot more YouTube stuff. This weekend will probably be our first YouTube collab together. We go to games together, but we've never collabed fully.
Yeah, we're gonna be at the CTE dinner
for Antonio Brown.
Yeah, Antonio Brown. I was joking. I was like, man, should you make a shirt that says "Commitment to Excellence" and has Antonio Brown on it?
CTE dinner. Yeah, so we'll be at the Commitment to Excellence dinner. We'll probably do some collab. I'm assuming Carol should probably be there.
I got my USC stuff ready. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
I'm assuming it'll be his first public appearance for the Raiders, and what better way to kick it off for him than Max Crosby dinner?
Yeah.
So that's happening Saturday in Henderson. So I believe tickets are sold out. I was able to actually get a late one this past 2 weeks ago for one of my other buddies. He's coming in from Hawaii for the event.
Yeah, I bought mine a long time ago.
I did too, about when you told me.
Yeah.
So
what color suit you wearing? Black?
I'm going black. I always wear black.
I never wear black. I get so much shit when I go there because last time I wore. No, last time I wore
red one, right? No, you wore that glitter one, that silver.
I wore a glitter suit one time,
and
then I wore a full head to toe crimson suit. People were like, "What the fuck? This is a Raider dinner." I'm like, "It's a badass suit. Leave me alone." And I wore a teal green. I wore a teal suit, but now I think it's one I'm wearing a 4-screen one tomorrow or Saturday.
Yeah. So, yep, we're the Max Crosby dinner should be fun. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully it's a good turnout. So, the Met Gala obviously was a good turnout, but that's a lot more expensive than the CTE dinner. We'll also have to win.
A little bit more expensive. It's only 10 times the price.
It also have to win, though. I mean, you can't beat it. This one's at Harris or something like that.
And it's fine. You're $150. You're gonna get Raider fans. You're gonna get Raider fans, not yuppies. You're gonna get Raider fans. So, all right, you want to hop into it?
Yeah, let's dive right in. We'll be talking about.
We're gonna be doing an offensive free agent review. That's what we're doing today. We're gonna be going over the wide receiver, O-line, and running back. So we're gonna be reviewing a couple free agents from each spot that I think would be a good fit for a team or a good need. But we're gonna be reviewing the contract, what they did last year, and what their predictions are. Doesn't mean we're going to get them, but hey, these would be a good additions. We can afford these people. That's the difference. So breaking down the cap, one of the things, if we sign all of our draft picks, if we sign most of our major free agents, we're still left with $40 million without restructuring anybody's money. So we have the money to go get out another major free agent or a couple, average, above average people to add to our staff. So everybody knows our rushing game has just been doo-doo. O-line had problems. We were 32nd in rushing, 26 in sacks. That's not very good. We're bottom of the league. So the main aspect of that is I think we have to improve our offensive line via the draft or free agency. There are 2 standout free agents that would probably start over the people we have. First one being Trey Smith.
Trey Smith, you trying to pull it up? I agree. So Raiders rank, the ranks are right there. 223 yards passing per game, 79 yards rushing per game. You're not going to win very many games rushing 79 yards per game. No, because the rushing obviously opens up the pass attack. You can do play action. You can do so much by just opening up the rushing.
Oh, hold on. I got to pop it. God damn it. This is going to piss me off. I can't see the screen right
Trey
now.
Smith.
No, I can't see the screen. I literally got a fucking McAfee office pop up right now. No bullshit.
Well, he's
I
working on
love-
some things. I pulled up your Trey Smith graphic. So
There
this
you
is
go,
a new
thank
thing
you.
we'll be doing, guys. We're gonna Josh is making graphics. He's putting a lot of time and effort into this. If you guys could please subscribe
There
to QX Go on YouTube. Lot of time going into it, so we're just going with the flow.
Yeah. So Trey Smith, if you guys don't know, gave up 0 sacks to a bad offensive line between Mahomes. Mahomes had some issues. He was able to run away from the ball, things like that. But Trey Smith is the 14th ranked PFF. PFF isn't always perfect, but he gave up 0 sacks. He was kind of penalized pretty heavily, holds, things like that. But the point is 0 sacks at the guard position. There's been a little differentiation. If we think Meredith or Parnham's going to start, we could upgrade either one of those positions. We don't have very much invested into either one of those people. So Trey Smith would be a great addition, but he comes at a high cost. His estimated salary is going to be in the $20 million range, 4 to 5 years, but he's only 25 years old and he's playing at a Pro Bowl level already.
Yeah, is he so let me ask you this, is he franchise tag eligible? Is that
No, he's a rookie contract, 4 years.
Contract. Yeah. There it is. Okay.
Yeah, he's a unrestricted free agent.
I don't know too much about Trey Smith, but he's on Kansas
Yeah,
City. And
he played lights out. It was a contract year for him, played lights out. So if he wasn't in the Pro Bowl, wasn't giving up no sacks, he'd probably be in the $10 million range as like an average guard. But he balled out. He's going to get $20 million a year for somebody. He's going to come in and give you a top 10 guard right off the bat. So it's going to suck for Mahomes to lose him. They can't afford him, so he's going to be gone most likely.
Beautiful. I would love to see doing some research on him. They can use a transition tag. It's from Tennessee, and he went to Tennessee.
Next one, a little bit older. I personally like him.
I love this guy. I was a huge fan when he came out the draft. I love Ronnie Stanley. I think he's a great player. He's very versatile in the run and the pass. Very big upgrade if the Raiders can somehow, transition and get him.
Yeah, he would start over Glaze without question. You can give Glaze another year or two to develop. Now he's on the downward end of his career. He'll probably get a 3 to 4 year deal, but he's in that $8 to $12 million range. So he is an upgrade, but he's also very affordable. That's why I like him, and that's why I picked him, because you can get him, let Glaze develop a little bit. Colton Miller has had some issues over the past couple of years being healthy, so Stanley could jump into that spot too, and you can put Glaze back in and still have some options thinking, hey, we can coach up Glaze, because we all think Glaze can be a starter. He's just got to learn the game a little bit better.
Yeah, great third round pick.
And a tackle sitting behind somebody for a year is not a big deal, especially he's on a rookie contract. So I think Stanley would be a good addition in that $10 million range. $30 million, 3 years, call it a day, and that's probably what he's going to get. Baltimore's probably going to let him walk.
Yeah, I think Stanley also. Going back to our offensive line, obviously they didn't play terrible. I mean, they weren't. They didn't. I mean, they had issues in the run game, but I feel that the pieces are there. But a guy like Ronnie Stanley will really put them over that hump that they're struggling with.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. I mean, who's going to be? Do you have James come back? I mean, are you putting JPJ in there ASAP?
No.
I mean,
James, you're just letting him ride out his contract. I'd have to pull it up and see what his cap hit is if we release. I don't think it's too beneficial to us. Parnham, JPJ, and Meredith. Meredith is the guy that you have to see for a whole season. Meredith through like 8 games.
He'd be the odd man out.
And so Sanjeet did some videos on him, and I was, messaging him on X. We're commenting back. So Sanjeet doesn't think he's a starter. I was like, he has to do it for a full year. He did come from a smaller school. He's not used to the NFL speed. He went to Western Kentucky. If you guys didn't know, he was the guard for Brelly Zappe. If you don't know who that is, he's the NCAA all-time passing leader. So he knows how to pass block. But Meredith is a big dude, and he's pretty agile for his size. So if he can transition and be a starter, 14, 16 games at the same level he did this year, bam, lights out. You got a top 15 guard. Like, you don't even mess around with it. That's your guy.
Yeah, so, but I mean, like you said, it's what if. You got to give him that whole season.
Exactly.
It's what if.
Next to JPJ, that's going to be a guy to be next to, man. That's going to make your life easier, having one of the best centers in the NFL. He's going to be a top 10 center, not top 5 by next year. Having that guy run our offensive line is going to make our offensive line better. You see people like, you see the Eagles, you see the Kelsey did with his team. He makes his quarterback better. He makes his blitz coverage better. You need a true center, and James wasn't that. He was serviceable, but he was never a center in college. He was a tackle.
Yeah.
People don't realize that. He was a tackle in college.
Yeah, I agree with you. And then James is a little bit undersized. I mean, he has kind of a similar build to JPJ, but I agree with you. I mean, to an extent that, he probably is the odd man out. But I like James. I mean, I think that's just more bias there just because he barbecues a lot. But is he a starter? I don't know.
Everybody's like saying, resign this guy, resign that guy. So Trayvon Moore, just to pop in on that, Moore's going to get about a 3 to 4 year deal, 15 to 17 million per year.
Worth it.
He's going to get a top 5, top 10 safety. He is worth it. I have a video coming out next week where I'm breaking down the cap. I actually found an app where I can mess with it live and tinker with things. He is very affordable to us, believe it or not. That could be one of the priority guys we get. Either if we don't get him, and you have to make that trade. If we're going to get Morg, that means we're not going to get a top other player. If we don't get Morg, that means we can go after a top wide receiver, a top guard, something like that. So you got to make that differential if you want to do that or not. What I would do. Yeah.
We have a question here. That's before we go a little bit too far on the offensive line. What do you guys think about Munford? I like Munford. He's an Ohio State guy. He's a big dude. PFF wise, I'm sure Josh is looking it up right now. That's why he's typing. And he will dive into.
I can't remember everything off the top of my head, man.
No, it's hard. It is hard to remember a lot of this stuff.
PFF's fucking horrible. Oh my god. He is the 126th out of 141 tackles that played in the NFL last year. Oh my god, he gave up 5 sacks in 400. Oh, that's bad. I didn't know it was that bad. He gave up 5 sacks in 200 snaps. Jesus Christ.
I like him because he DMs back on Twitter. I ain't gonna lie.
His contract. Must DM one Raider player back every year.
I'm biased now.
It's cool when players DM you back, but
it's cool. He's a good. We bullshitted about the Ohio State game. That's why I knew off the top of the head he was an Ohio State guy.
No, he's big, cool, but same thing as Blaze. He's a big body. He's a little bit slower. He needs to be coached up. We don't have very much invested in him, so I think Munford's just going to be a rotational piece, and probably we'll let him walk because he'll get a bigger contract somewhere else. So I don't think he has what it takes to start in the NFL at this point in his career. He's not going to start over Miller. Chances are he's not going to start over Glaze. If we draft somebody or sign somebody, chances are that person's going to be better than him too as well. Yeah. He is better than the other bullshit and white hair that we had. Right now, he's under contract. Keep him. He's a rotational guy. There's injuries on the offensive line,
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, Glaze was a 3rd-round pick. I mean, that is pretty high for the draft, but he turned out real good for us for what he had done.
Yeah, and he needs time. I don't know what to say.
Yeah,
so people think these guys come out. It's like, dude, your offensive line needs time to develop, time to work together, and then from there they can start to, be a cohesive unit. We didn't have that at all last year. That was one of the issues.
Yeah. Yeah, and Colton Miller, I mean, he's still only 29. He'll be 30 when the season starts. I mean, he can help develop these young guys on the line, Glaze, JPJ. If we do decide to go after, what's the hell is this dude? You deleted it. I can't even think of his name anymore. The guy we just talked about.
Ronnie?
Yeah.
Good old Ronnie.
No, not Ronnie. Ronnie's 30. The other dude from Kansas City, Trey Smith.
Oh yeah. That's me and a wishing well wanting him, because if we get him, we'd have a top 10 line. So it just solidifies if you're going to get him or not. All right. So next business. People are going to have some issues with this because they think, Bowers is the man, but you still need wide receivers. Okay, you need somebody. Tucker and Myers that situation reminds me a lot of the Patrick Mahomes situation where they don't have a true number one besides Kelsey. Bowers is explosive, but Bowers isn't going to catch a 60-yard pass. He isn't going to run for 30 yards after the catch. He's going to get you 10 yards of reception. He's not going to drop the ball. He's going to be what we would consider an elite slot receiver. You need a little bit more than that. So I think one of the things we're going to do in the draft for free agency is pretty open. Go get a wide receiver to help, because we don't have a true number 2 or number 3. Tucker hasn't developed yet. So I think We need to do a little bit better. Now, my favorite guy, Chris Godwin, Tom Brady's boy.
Yeah, I agree. I'm a big Godwin fan.
Yeah, Godwin, burner, a little bit of injury history. He's 28 years old. He's had 4,000-yard receptions. But from there, he's done really well. I think, but the thing is with him, he's going to be in the $15 to $20 million range. So
he might even be higher considering what the Patriots are saying about Godwin.
Yeah, he could be a number one.
He can be definitely overpaid as well.
Yeah, that's the other issue. So if teams are just throwing money at him and giving him that 20 million a year, people are estimating a 20 million 4-year contract, in the 80-85 range. Mm-hmm. That would be a little bit too rich for my blood.
I agree.
So yeah, and we need to pair somebody with Myers to help out our wide receiver core, and we got to give our quarterbacks more options and more weapons. So a more realistic one. So a lot of people, there's probably 100 people in the chat don't even know who this guy is, but he is a free agent. So he is a cheaper option. Elijah Moore with Cleveland. If you don't know, he was drafted by the Jets, kind of got lost in the shuffle there. He's probably a number 2 or number 3 at this point. 50 receptions, 60 receptions, 500 to 600 yards. His stats are a little deceiving this year. He's never had a quality quarterback. He's had Zach Wilson, Joe Flacco, Jameis Winston. Like he's never had a real true number 1 quarterback either. So his numbers kind of, but he is a little bit undersized, but he's a burner. He runs like a 4.4 40. So he's one of those guys that takes the top off. He is a little bit hesitant when he drops the ball. His catch percentages in the 60s to 70s, not as high as what we're used to. So that's kind of the issues I see with him.
So in comparison, I watched a little bit of Elijah Moore, and there's this guy, he's coming out the draft, and they're saying he's unguardable right now. He's projected anywhere from the 3rd to 4th round. Tez Johnson out of Oregon.
Yeah.
They're saying he's unstoppable. I mean, I wouldn't mind putting a flyer on him.
Oh, yeah. I think we're going to draft a wide receiver because wide receivers tend to be overpaid. So like somebody like Moore is going to get you 500 or 600 yards. You can get 7 to 10 million per year. You see what that 10 million can do in the NFL. $10 million in the NFL can get you a top 30 player, a tackle. It can get you a top linebacker in the NFL. It can get you an extremely good safety. Can't get you a defensive end, but there's other players that it can get you. It can get you a top level running back. Like it can get you top 10 running back without even question. So it depends where you want to spend the money. And you're kind of seeing that by the wayside. Mid-level wide receivers aren't getting paid what they used to because you can go draft somebody that's going to get you 600 yards. A little bit more of a chance. But yeah, Johnson, Nick Nash, there's tons of wide receivers that can get us 50 receptions, 500 yards. So, and they'd be cheaper too. They'd be in a couple $1 million range versus 7 to 10.
So let me ask you let me see how I can word this real quick. Say we do go draft into the for a wide receiver. How early are you going wide receiver? Do you gamble? Do you take him at 7? Do you take that top guy, or do you wait till the 3rd, 4th, 5th?
No. I don't think that's
a deep wide receiver class. There's so many receivers coming out this year.
And we're looking to where we might have 10, 15 running backs drafted in the first 3-4 rounds. So I think we draft a wide receiver. For me, I think it would be the 3rd round. Because I think round 1, we're going to go quarterback or defense. Round 2, depending on what we do in round 1, we're going to go defense or offensive line, depending what we want to do. And then round 3 is when you get round 3 is when we're going to get the running backs, we're going to get the wide receivers, things like that.
Here, I'm going to share this real quick, just so you guys can see. There is a lot of wide receivers coming out. A lot of good ones, a lot of tall ones, quick, speedy guys. I brought up Tez Johnson. He's ranked 12. I mean, there's just so many receivers coming out this season.
Yeah. So, and there's going to be a lot of guys that are ranked in, 2nd to 4th round. They're going to be good, really good, productive players. So this draft is so deep for wide receivers and running backs. And that's why they're predicting like, hey, we might have 10 wide receivers, 10 running backs drafted the first 3-4 rounds. Like that's a real possibility. You're going to have a couple in the top, but the late round draft picks, especially at running back, like Hampton's 2nd, 3rd round prediction, that guy's going to probably be a top 10 back in a couple of years. Like that's what you're getting for your value. So Minshew returns a starter. Hey, we save Cap. We save like $2 or $3 million when we cut him. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah, and he's already been told, I believe, he's getting the boot.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, they. I mean, you never know with the Raiders, man.
Well, we're seeing it. We're seeing it
You
too.
never know,
So,
bro.
no, he'll get a job somewhere as a backup. Somebody's going to sign him.
Yeah.
Period. Somebody's going to sign him. You know. So with that being said, you're seeing a lot of teams like, well, why don't you just trade these guys? It'll help our cap. Nobody's going to trade for Gardner Minshew because they know damn well we're not going to keep him. Just like nobody's going to trade for nobody's going to wants to trade for Cup, or nobody really wants to trade for Stafford. Like, no, fuck you, release them, or and we'll pick them up off free agent. Yeah, we'll get them cheaper at a better contract, and we won't have to give anything up for them. So, that which does suck. We have what second, third, I think, dead cap space this year. Like again, we have fucking issues because of the previous regime made dumb contracts. So we're paying Garoppolo and Adams right now like $25 million next year. That is a all-pro fucking player we could have got. We were supposed to have all that cap space this year, and Adams fucked us and wanted to be traded.
It's gonna, man, I'm gonna cause a little bit of clickbait, but it's gonna be hilarious if he fucking would end up back in Vegas. If he goes to the Chargers,
he's going to the Chargers.
He should be dead to every Raider fan if he goes to the Chargers. That's a bitch move if he goes to the Chargers. in my opinion. If he goes to the Chargers, man, or if he, any division rival, he supposedly stood on.
He wants to go down.
Well, he stood on the Raider business, whatever, and if he goes to a division rival, man, that's just
he's gonna just be a dick.
Yeah.
Raider
Chris, we're gonna talk about running backs here shortly. He already did to me. He did to me too. But if he goes to the Chargers, then fuck, bro. I mean, I could never. I don't even know. I wouldn't be mad if people burned his jersey. Not that I'm for it or anything. Never done it yet.
You know what's sad is I'm staring at a pair of Devontae Adams game-used Jordan gloves like right in front of me. They're literally right there.
I took it off my wall. I replaced them with Bowers. Yeah. I still got to get shadow boxes for all that, but I replaced them with Bowers. He was on my wall for a long time.
I mean, we were all happy about that. So I think next week what we're going to jump into is the draft. I think it's coming up. People want to hear that. We can do a mix of a couple rounds of drafts, what we need, and then we can also talk about free agents and discuss that too as well. Our free agents, so you can kind of expect what to get, because you'll hear a lot of rumors, a lot of issues, what's going to happen, things like that. But I do like to do my research, so I will check different caps and see what the range is going to be, what their estimate's going to be, what they think they're going to go at, what the current market is, because it's not what a player's worth; it's what somebody's willing to pay for them. So if somebody's going to throw money at them, or you kind of know, like, hey, they get paid between this and that for this type of player, you can expect that type of contract. So
yeah, of course.
And
there's a lot of players I can see the Raiders letting go. I know Spillane's out there. Spillane should be a top priority. Adam Butler, he says he wants to be in Vegas for the rest of his career. I would love Adam Butler back. I know
they'll get him for a few million a year. Like he'll be a great
5, 6 probably.
So the one that scares me is Kuntz. That's who scares me, because I don't know what kind of contract he's going to get.
Yeah, Kuntz is scary. You would hope he comes back on some type of discount, but I mean, you can't blame the guy if he chases the bag. I mean, he almost had a career-ending injury. I know a lot of people come back from ACLs, but it's hard. So I wouldn't. I mean, you can't hate the guy if he does go take. If someone's offering him $15 million, I mean, fuck.
I would. So him and Spillane. So Spillane's going to be 7 to 10. I think. Same thing for Kuntz. Kuntz will probably be a little bit higher because he's an edge rusher. So I think he'll get in the 10 to 12 range, which I'm okay with. It'll be a front-loaded contract where they can get out of if he doesn't perform, but there will be some guaranteed money.
Yeah.
Go through Nick Chubb or Najee Harris.
Yeah, we're getting into that. We're getting into that.
Yeah. No Nick Chubb. No Nick Chubb. He's done. He's old. So as we all know, our run game was ass.
You want this guy? I'm sorry, I'm not a fan.
I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you who I would want as a rotational back. I know who you want. That's why I featured him.
I don't want. He has one guy I like, one guy he likes, and they're both not the best. I like Najee. I'm a
Najee Harris. So Najee Harris, 26 years old, 1,000 yards the past 4 years. He lost some carries to Warren. He does have his issues. That's where I have a problem with him. He is very consistent. He will get you 3.5, 4 yards of rush, but he won't break it.
Does not miss games. He's just a
Yeah,
dog.
he's there. He's efficient. He's there, but he's underproductive. And for what he was drafted at, I consider him a somewhat bust because he can't break away. He doesn't break tackles very well, and he's not good in the run zone. Those are the issues I have with him.
And I can agree with that. I can get on board 100% on that. He doesn't score much in the red zone. Given the Steelers don't score much at all, they're a very defensive team.
Yeah.
I think a change of scenery would be good for Najee. I think you put him on the Raiders. He grew up a Raiders fan. I mean, we've gone through this loophole plenty of times with a lot of players, Marshawn, Devontae, growing up Raider fans. But I like Najee. He's still fairly young. I think you can get him on a good deal. I like Najee. You know what? There's a comment in here that I really, really like too. I'm a huge fan of Jordan Mason too. If somehow the Raiders did get Jordan Mason, he would be a great back in Vegas.
Yeah. We need that running back by committee. So these guys in the draft, and you're not going to get a Saquon Barkley. You're not going to get a guy like that. And more often than not, Saquon was the first Pro Bowl running back to win a Super Bowl since Marshawn Lynch with the Seahawks. It's not a very common thing, and because they get run into the ground. So a running back by committee is still one of the most efficient things to do in the NFL. You need two backs, and then you need a scat back that can catch the ball, things like that. So for Najee, he would be, RB1/2. There would need to be a breakaway. You need that thunder and that lightning. You need that speed guy. You can't go get another power back with Najee. You need a guy that's fast because Najee will eat carries. He'll break down the defense a little bit, and then you put that scat back. That's exactly what the Steelers did with Warren. We'll average more yards. We'll be a little bit more efficient. We'll be able to catch the ball better.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you do need a running back committee. I do hope to see Sincere back. Hopefully, I mean, even if he's a third back, he played well.
He's gonna be on the roster this year. He's gonna get his chance. So
I hope so. I do. I mean, it sucks having a change of scenery. Obviously, AP's gone. The whole offensive staff is basically gone. I hope he gets his shot. I really do.
I think they will because he fits, Chip's mold. You need an efficient back that can catch the ball. It's not going to waste carries. So he did well with the Raiders when he wasn't hurt. So if you get him in that rotation, he might start. Like if we got Najee and drafted a rookie, he's going to be running back number 3. But if he does better than Najee, he's going to pull carries away from them. So whoever doesn't do as well, he's going to pull carries from. I think it's going to be, the three-headed monster. You're going to have a running back with 800 yards, 500 yards, 400 yards, something around that range. So, and you have to make yourself valuable. So you have to catch the ball. You have to learn how to pick up blitz packages, things like that. The more you can do, the more you're going to be on the field.
And I think I know the answer to this, but are you letting go of Madison and Abdullah?
Oh, yeah. Abdullah's, as good as he was in the stretch,
I knew the answer.
He's over the hill. You're not going to win the NFL with a 32-year-old running back. And if you're starting him over somebody else, you're taking carries away. He was our fourth option. Mattinson's done. We tried, didn't work. Call it a day.
Another name out there that's been floating around Raider Nation is Aaron Jones.
I like him. I didn't put him in here, but I will tell you, as a rotational back, he'll get you 800 to 1,000 yards. He'll average 4.5 yards a carry. He can catch the ball. He can run the ball. And he also averages about, 60, 70 yards a game. To me, he's the most consistent. He's a little more consistent than Najee. He's just older. That's it. Yeah. So over his career, he's been more consistent and more explosive than Najee. But the problem is he is 30. Running backs decline at that point. And again, anybody can run for 1,000 yards when you have fucking Jefferson and Addison as your wide receivers because they're scared shitless. They're going to go over the top. So
you got
anybody coming out of that Minnesota the Vikings offense, I don't trust. Outside of Addison and Jefferson, I don't trust anybody on that team because you have a number 1 wide receiver on the other side, and you have one of the best in the NFL. Defenses are scared. So I don't trust Darnold. So miss me with that shit.
Dude, I am on the same boat. If Darnold came, I would actually be really fucking disappointed. I could throw it to Justin Jefferson. I'm sorry.
And now
I would be disappointed.
They're predicting his contract's going up. They're saying 4 years, 160.
Dude, I'd be actually pissed. I would be so upset if we got fucking Sam Darnold.
Yeah, he's not throwing for
I'm
35.
sorry if there's any Sam Darnold fans in here. I mean, dude, he had a breakout year, yes, but he had fucking Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
He had
He
arguably
was the worst offensive player. But the thing is, can he reproduce that with a rookie running back, a less offensive
Dude.
line, and less wide receivers? No, he's going to
No.
throw for.
No,
He'll throw for 3,500 yards, and
let him go to Pittsburgh or something crazy where they go and overpay for quarterbacks.
Yeah. All right. So the last running back, this is my choice. I'm probably gonna get fucking reamed for this one.
Yeah,
but...
I'm about to turn my camera off.
Oh my God. So turn my camera on. J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins is the most unlucky running back in the NFL. This dude. Oh, you just turn your fucking camera off.
You gotta have. It's the off season. We gotta have some fun.
He is the most unlucky running back. When he's on the field, he kills it. The problem is he can't stay on the field. I mean, look, he averages 5.5 yards a carry when he's healthy. He's super explosive, low to the ground, power runner. But the most games he's ever started in this season is 11.
That's crazy. That's actually
nuts, right?
insane. That's crazy.
Yeah. So he doesn't really get the chance to start. He's always been the rotational guy. When he comes in, explosive. Then he gets hurt every year.
Yeah, in Baltimore he was rotational, and LA obviously rotational.
And he was the main back, but in 11 games he had 906 yards. So he's in 9 touchdowns. Like, he can run the ball. He's explosive. He's going to be a cheap option. People are guessing $3 to $5 million a year. That's pretty cheap for a running back of his caliber. I don't think he'll stay healthy, but as a rotational guy, I would take him in a heartbeat, because if he gives me 12 to 14 games, done. Like, he's going to be good. He'll get you 800 yards.
I wouldn't mind. I mean, at this point, I would love to bring in. I don't know how old is J.K. Dobbins. I couldn't tell you.
I don't feel he's young. He's like 26, dude.
No way.
I think he's 26. Yeah.
Holy shit. J.K. Dobbins is 26 years old.
I told you, he's hella young. Everything he's like 30.
Dude, what? I'm sorry for turning him off. He's 6 years old.
Yeah, he's 26 years old.
I'm older than J.K. Dobbins. Are you serious?
I think he came in the league when he was 20.
Dude, that's crazy. I feel like he's been. I mean, obviously I felt like he was in Baltimore like 10 years ago.
He was in Baltimore for 5 years.
That is insane. Wow. Look,
people forget, like, in college, he ran for 2,000 yards in college.
Dude,
at Ohio
that
State.
is insane. I had no clue. You know what? I bring him. Let's try it. Yeah. I mean, I'm down.
This is only his 5th year. So the problem, the first year he came in, same thing, off the bench, explosive, got hurt, didn't play the entire season. Second year with Baltimore, got hurt, played half the season. Third year with Baltimore, missed the entire season. And we played 1 game, and then he comes back with LA, plays 13, gets hurt again, and he's out. So
that's actually insane.
Yeah, he's been hurt almost every year. I don't remember what his injury was this year. I have to look it up. But as a rotational
it's always been back, right? It's usually his back. It's usually his back.
Wow, it's from carrying Justin Herbert,
the social media quarterback. What if?
Yeah.
What if Herbert had this? What if Herbert had that?
Well, that's what we're doing now.
That's crazy. I'm actually still in shock. J.K. Dobbins is 26 years old.
Yeah, he's been in the league 5 years, so he came in at 21.
That is actually, if he came in on a friendly deal, obviously, I would not pass.
Oh, he's not going to get any money because of his injury. He's literally going to get $3 to $5 million a year. That's it.
That is insane.
I mean, what the fuck did we pay Mattinson?
Probably
the same type of deal.
Probably the same type of deal, yeah. That's crazy. Did you guys know J.K. Dobbins was fucking 26 years old?
I'm not paying attention to the comments. I'm doing all the slides.
Crazy.
My buddy, a Chokers fan, loves that guy. I mean, if he stays healthy. Yeah, Mattinson signed a 2-year or $2 million contract, and that was after running for 900 yards. Honestly, yeah, $3 million. Shit, I'd be so happy.
That's actually not terrible. I'm looking at his stats right now. I mean, that's wild. Wow.
Like, wow. Big if. Yeah.
I just looked at his stats right now on Google. I was just in shock.
Yeah, when he touches the ball, he's fucking great.
I remember watching him week 1 in LA. He ran all over us.
Yeah. No, fantasy
I
football
remember
advice: start whatever running back goes against the Raiders. So
Man,
But so next week, what we'll do is we're going to go over some of the draft picks. So we're going to talk about some holes, some players we like, and then also kind of review. We'll have about 15, 20 minutes, and then we'll review the Raiders salary cap, kind of show you guys what we can do with our salary cap, what players, what kind of contracts they're going to get. So we'll talk about Spillane, we'll talk about Kuntz, we'll talk about Morig, Butler, kind of give you what their league average will be. Let you know what that is. So I like breaking down stuff like that. It is nuts how fast you can spend. It's nuts how fast you can spend your money in the NFL. Yeah. It is absolutely insane. I think we're going to do some restructure. So as it sits right now, if we cut Gardner Minshew, we'll have about $95 million.
Mm-hmm.
That's without restructuring. So I can see them restructuring Max contract to give us another 5 or 10, and then a couple other people like Kobe. Yeah.
Because for those who don't know, they restructure for it to go into guaranteed money. It takes off the cap.
Yeah. And they'll back in that. So 5 years down the road, we might be fucked. But right now, it's like, hey, they're young. We'll try. So I can see us going in with over $100 million. We were supposed to have over $100 million until fucking Adams left. And all of his dead money just. So, Crazy. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. We'll talk about that next week. So tune in. Thank you, everybody. Hope you guys like the slides. I'll be doing some more next week. Have some fun.
Yeah, and we might be doing. We usually do an hour. We might be going a little bit smaller. It's the off season. I mean, we're just trying to get everything. Put shows out for you guys. Have a good time. Bullshit a little more.
Are you going? Are you going to the draft this year?
I'm actually planning on. I might. I have no one really. I know you're going, but I mean, obviously, I would probably just tag along. I would probably third wheel with you.
You can. We're staying. We're staying with some family out there.
I do want to go since the Raiders have a higher draft pick this year.
Yeah.
I'm interested.
The tickets go on sale March for like the inside stuff, but I'll tell you off camera. Did I tell you who we're staying with or no?
Yeah, you told me.
Yeah. So I'm hoping I can put on some game use shit. I mean, it might be Niners, but whatever. It'll be the only the only time you see me wear some Niner gear. Like, hey, let me wear your Super Bowl jersey.
Yeah, you told me. So yeah, I will see. Look out for our video. Hopefully Monday. Hopefully we get some fun content this weekend. If you guys weren't in before, we'll be at the Max Crosby Commitment to Excellence Awards dinner this weekend. So take a peek for that. Josh has been putting out a lot of work on there, getting the stuff onto YouTube. We're just having fun with it. Give us a subscribe.
Gotta find stuff to talk about,
Yeah, you gotta find stuff to talk about. You can't do full hours.
This is the first time I've actually put in work on the off season. I usually just fuck around and don't do anything. So I'm being serious.
I enjoyed your slides. I hope everyone else enjoyed the slides. Josh put a lot of work into it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. That's something we're going to try to do a little more. If you guys have any suggestions, please feel free to DM us. We're open to it.
Any topics too you guys want to talk about, just let us know. We can discuss it. We like it when people ask us questions. We want to respond to them. We do want to go off topic, and because at the end of the day, this is a forum for people. We want you to be able to discuss what you want to talk about. We have a platform, and we want you guys to use it and have some fun with it.
Yeah, and if you think our takes are fucking terrible, tell us.
I got reamed the other day because people were talking about AOC. And I'm like, somebody's like, oh, he has all these attributes like Tom Brady. So I was like, fuck it. I'm going to pull all the stats from Tom Brady's rookie year versus AOC's first 20 games in the NFL. And people don't realize Tom Brady was on a 5-win team and then went to the Super Bowl next year. Crazy. That's what people don't realize. Belichick was not established. He was a losing coach with the Browns.
With the Browns.
Not established. Mm-hmm. Their number one draft pick, Bledsoe, got hurt. He was out. They're like, oh, we're fucked. And Brady came in and won. And then Brady kept the job. So with that being said, like I compared what AOC does now versus then, and I got a lot of shit for it. AOC, this is why I don't want AOC as our quarterback. And a lot of people are like, draft quarterback. I'm like, we need to bring somebody in to compete with him, period. I don't think it'd be free agency unless it's, Fields or somebody that's being released because it's going to cost too much and it's going to fuck us in the cap space and we won't win. But AOC throws for yet less yards and less touchdowns than quarterbacks did 20 years ago. And people think he's a starter. Like, really think about that.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. AOC. I mean, I don't know how guys become stans of a player so quickly. I really don't.
I did dress up as Gardner Minshew, so you
know
sometimes
what?
you buy in. You buy in.
But Gardner Minshew at least had a career before. I mean, he kind of was good. I mean, he was almost. I mean, should have been a playoff team in Indy. I mean, you had a reason. I mean, these guys are rookies, and people are just like, oh, should be the starter.
He needs this. He needs that. I just tell people, take away the name, take away the number, and look at the stats, look what they do, and look at the film, and you take off those Raider goggles. We have those drunk goggles on. We get attached to mediocre players. You look at people from a 10,000 foot view from above, and you can be critical about it. Yeah, you may like them. Like there's certain players I like in the NFL. I love Spillane. I think he's awesome, but he still has holes in his game. Like I love Kuntz, but he still has holes in his game. I love Moore, still has holes in his game. There's still things that they can improve on. Nobody's perfect. So you have to look at that like, okay, if we have this guy, what are they good at? What can we get to support them to make them better? And I look at AOC, I'm like, you can have the fucking Avengers on our team and we're still going to lose with that guy. So it's just, I'm tired of it.
I agree, man. I do agree with her. I do agree. We have a few, AOC 2025, haha.
I'm telling you, if we start AOC in 2025, we're going to be a 500 team. I don't think he can't go to playoffs and win. Do you trust AOC going to Buffalo, going to Cincy, going,
Kansas City, Denver, any of these teams?
No. Denver in the cold?
Yeah.
Nope. Not going to happen.
Not at all. This is totally off topic, but isn't it fucking crazy they give AOC 4 like the year after? That was so salty. I mean, I'm not a huge Derek Carr fan. I'm not a Derek Carr fan at all, but that was terrible by McDaniels.
I think that was a fuck you move.
That was 100%. We've never talked about it. We didn't have the show when that happened, but that was a fuck you move for sure. Giving AOC number 4.
How many? We're at like 700 subscribers now on YouTube, man. It's popping off.
There you go. There we are.
627. Hey, that's pretty good for starting some shit this year.
Yeah, we started very late in the year too. Didn't we?
Yeah, I forgot. We started like in the middle of the year.
Yeah, we started like the middle of the year. Yeah. What is PFN? Is that Pro Football Network off-season manager?
Yeah,
it is. I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's Pro Football Network. Yeah. I've seen that before. They do mock drafts and everything. They try to do everything up to date.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of apps out there and a lot of stuff. They do like kind of BS's everything around. But it's hard because some of the apps and some of the different, I can say like cap numbers, things like that, are different on different sites. So like, which one is it? So I try to do the same ones for everything. Mm-hmm. A lot of things I pull off of PFF because PFF is very accurate when it comes to stats. Mm-hmm. But you have to interpret those stats. And numbers do lie. So that's
the rankings on PFF are horrendous.
Yeah. And like we were looking at Stanley, like he was the number 30th ranked tackle. There was multiple tackles in front of him that only played a half a season. Mm-hmm. So they have half as many snaps. Or with like wide receiver play, if you're efficient or if you run the ball, your PFF's usually higher. Mm-hmm. So I use an example like with PFF, the number one PFF, because people was like, Sanders is super efficient. He's a PFF quarterback. I'm like, okay, if we're going to draft off PFF, I'm going to go draft the guy from Army because he's the highest rated PFF quarterback in the NCAA this year. Can't throw the fucking ball. At quarterback, he's the highest ranked quarterback in PFF. So it's not always. No.
No. 13. I do like 10. I do like 10. 9 to 10.
Best I can give you is $1.25.
Yeah, like 9 and 10. I don't know. 13's a little high for me. I like Najee, but that's
not explosive enough to get 13. Not even close. Not explosive enough.
Very high.
Not a touchdown threat when he touches the ball.
I will go out on a limb and say no team pays him 13.
No, I think 10's his cap. 10.
I can't think of a team off the top of my head that would pay. Who would pay him 13? No one would pay him 13.
Browns.
No, not even the Browns.
The Jets.
Okay, no, because they got the rookie. The Giants. I can see I can see the Giants paying him 13. But Tracy, the Tracy dude was pretty good this year.
Yeah, I had him in fantasy, and everybody laughed at me. I was like, just watch. He's gonna start. Just watch. The guy was a monster in college.
13's a lot. 13's a lot for a running back.
Yeah.
Najee Harris running back. I mean, if you're going Saquon, I'll give him 20.
Yeah. It's not like it's gonna run for 2,000 yards or anything.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, again, guys, I appreciate everyone tuning in. Please give us a follow, subscribe. It's free. QX Go. I'm Raiders AQ, Twitter, Instagram, OnlyFans, all of it. That's the GOAT 209. On
Feet finder.
Instagram, Twitter, Feet Finder. Yeah, that's Josh. But we appreciate everyone tuning in. You got anything to add, Josh?
No, man, just follow us up. We really appreciate it. Watch our stuff. Follow us on all our platforms. We're always doing giveaways. We're always doing, free prizes and things like that. So throughout the year, and I'm doing stuff on my Instagram all the time, tagging them. So we usually do a lot of collabs like that to give stuff away.
Yeah. Josh does a lot of giveaways. He just gave away a Max Crosby ball. So give him a follow.
It was for those that get angry, it was in my closet and just sitting there. And so
Josh does a ton of giveaways.
Yeah. That's too much shit.
He's a Raider. He should be like Raider giveaway. I don't know what the hell, but he does a lot of giveaways.
I had somebody DM me that said, "Fuck you, you bought all your followers." I'm like, "How?" And they're like, "You give shit away." I'm like, "I get that stuff for free, bro."
Yeah, he does a ton of giveaways.
I'm like, I'm sorry that I get to give stuff away. I'm like, maybe if you fucking bought better seats and sat where I sat, you'd be able to, doing that. But yeah, I had somebody try to talk shit saying I bought my followers. He's like, "You buy your followers and you buy your views." I'm like, dude, people come to my page because of the shit I say, not because I can do a giveaway once a month. I was actually. Then I screenshotted my fucking views for the month. Like I talk to some guys. Like I know what a lot is. Like I on Instagram, like I think most I've ever done is like 9 or 10 million in a month. And I screenshotted that and I sent it to him and it pissed him off. I was like at 8.9 million, and I was like, "Fuck you."
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, it's the same thing. I mean, I'm not too big on Instagram. I do more Twitter things, so that's
Twitter's
what I do.
fun. The most random shit pop off. You're like, "Man, this is a banger," and then it does nothing. And you post some shit like I'm wet, at the stadium, and bam, 50,000 views. Like, cool.
Yeah, I'm a Twitter guy. I'm a Twitter guy for sure. But cool. We appreciate you. We appreciate everyone tuning in. So give us a subscribe, QX Go YouTube. And that's all for today.
All right. Good night.
Appreciate everyone.